Derek from TikTok usually just talks about philosophy and prophecies. Bro splits his time between Florida and a cabin deep in the Appalachians. But during his last mountain trip, the deep talks turned into a paranormal nightmare. Lachiachi night, Derek caught a super weird noise echoing from the trees. He actually recorded it. Listen closely.
Y'all, I just walked off the porch and I came out here to check on the chickens. I just heard, first off, I heard my name. Second off, it sounded like somebody was saying, help me. Hold on. Hold on.
Hey. Help. I need help. Derek, can you help me?
In the pitch black, you clearly hear a voice shouting at him. Hey, help me! It literally drops his name, Derek, followed by a cry for help. Can you help me? The tone is dead flat, super deep, and has zero human panic to it. Appalachian locals have one golden survival rule. If you hear something out there, no, you didn't. If you see something out there, no, you didn't. Anyway. Ghost hunter Cody Aaron recently dropped a nightmare sequence on his YouTube channel. In this drop, he investigates a commercial building heavily rumored to be cursed, spending the graveyard shift totally solo. Inside a dark maze of empty cubicles is already sketchy, but the insane amount of ghostly action Cody bags on this one trip is straight up wild. Watch this.
And that's the chair that moves on its own. And I'm just tired, you know. There's absolutely nothing here this time. I've not seen anything. It's 9:46, and usually everything happens by this time, but nothing's going on. There was way more people than what's usually here today, so I kind of guess maybe that's what it is, and I'm just gonna call it a day. I'll start again tomorrow maybe, and we'll see what. Okay, so I'm the only one here right now, and the door just closed on its own. Okay, so I'm here by myself. All of these green lights means that there's no motion, right? Look in this room. What in the world is that? That is insane. I have never seen something like this. This is directly beside me in the next room. Did you see that? It disappeared. What in the world? Let's do it. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need Eric's help for this. I'm not gonna do this by myself.
Breaking this clip down, the panic scales up instantly. The first red flag pops up right away, and most viewers totally missed it initially when Cody flips the lens to his face for a second, hiding in the pitch black right over his shoulder. You can easily spot a creepy female face. A second later, like she's proving she's active, a solid door aggressively slams shut on its own behind his back. Hunting for a safer spot, Cody backs off to review the CCTV screens, but he can't hide on one monitor. A pale glowing figure slowly spawns in, looking straight like a floating head, glitching out aggressively before deleting itself from the feed. But the peak of this run is absolute proof. While Cody pushes down the corridor, a brutal, deep screech completely destroys the silence. The audio sounds 100% demonic, screaming one simple order: leave. Knowing his plot armor was gone, Cody instantly aborts the mission and dips. Thoughts? Wrapping things up, we've got a montage of security feeds pulled straight from a West Virginia pastry shop. And let me tell you, every single clip is severely unhinged. The haunted business is called Rock City Bakery, and just lately, the boss, lady running the joint, finally dropped a vault of classified CCTV footage, previously hidden files. According to Morgan, the shop's co-founder, the entire staff blames these bizarre physical anomalies on a resident poltergeist they affectionately named Harry. Basically, Harry is the scapegoat for every single paranormal glitch on shift. We're talking baking sheets aggressively flying around to massive mixers getting shoved by zero gravity. It's an undisputed fact that this bakery is an active demon spawn point, but all previous lore pales in comparison to these next to terrifying security dumps. Morgan literally refuses to rewatch these clips, claiming it ruins her mental health before clocking in. Giving you guys some lore. Random inventory constantly teleports around the back room, but the most cursed object driving everyone crazy is a cheap Halloween web bowl. They actually bought a whole stack of them, and predictably, they routinely spawn in physically impossible locations. Morgan pinned the blame squarely on Harry's phantom hands. The glitch kept repeating, so she literally dumped the entire plastic set in the trash. That actually purged the haunting temporarily. But fast forward to a slammed afternoon. Morgan spots one of the deleted bowls chilling on the lobby couch, right where the line forms. A rational brain assumes a customer dropped it. Right, but ignoring logic, Morgan's fight or flight kicked in instantly. She pulled the tapes to expose the prankster, and the raw video files permanently scarred her. Quoting Morgan directly, the plastic prop literally spawned from a 2D painting hung on the drywall. Watch this madness. The internet is completely stumped. Just like her, the object genuinely phases through solid canvas. She considers this a direct attack by Harry, somehow pulling Matrix stunts just to aggressively troll her for trashing his toys. Regardless of the ghost's motives, a secondary spawn glitch hit the servers later, leaving the entire baking crew profoundly disturbed. Midnight Heechies, and the cat catches this. Identical to the first run, a projectile exits the artwork, except this round includes bonus collateral damage. Check the background. A fake skeleton violently drops, triggered right after the mystery item phased out. Checking the floor. The next morning, the bullet turned out to be an unopened Coke can, lacking any rational scientific breakdown. Morgan dumped the whole hard drive on TikTok, praying the comments section could debunk it. Thus far, the internet remains utterly defeated. And worse, the haunting at Rock City Bakery just keeps scaling up. Poltergeist Harry or straight up demon portal. The squad is collectively losing their minds over it. Before we move on, I need your ultimate verdict. Spam your best theories in the comments.
In this clip, a man explains that for several days,
Over here, a guy complains that an entire week of heavy knocking on his drywall was driving him insane. Coming from deep inside the architecture, faint rhythmic taps, but aggressive enough to set off alarm bells. Finally fed up, he hits record at midnight to gather hard evidence of the trespasser. The intro is dead boring. Honestly, just standard suburban silence. But crank your volume, because that muffled tapping clearly bleeds through the mic.
he even pauses for a moment, trying to locate where it's coming from. But then things take a disturbing turn.
Without warning, a terrifying screech blasts from the yard, a frequency that definitely ain't from this dimension. And almost instantly, an interior door violently slams with maximum force. 0 drafts, 0 roommates, 0 logic. Bro instantly folds, drops the cam, and books it to safety. So the million-dollar question, pure acoustic paranoia or a physical entity breaching the crib?
In this clip, a man named Alberto, who runs...
Catch this setup. A dude named Alberto runs an underground tattoo shop out of his crib, but starts catching brutal paranormal interference, mostly localized to the ink room. Initially, the frame is totally clean, but look at the corner.
La neta, ya me soy bien culo, la neta. Ya ni quisiera... ¿Hay alguien ahí? ¿Hay alguien ahí? No mames, no mames. ¿Ya viste, hija? ¿Ya viste, hija? ¿Hay alguien ahí? Espérate, hija. ¡Hey! Ay, cabrón. Lupita, hasta para allá, Lupita.
Pues tú hazte para acá, entiende.
Pues no hay alguien aquí, hija. Ay, cabrón.
Entiende que ya te hagas para acá.
Su puta nomás, vámonos para allá. Yo creo que sí lo voy a meter. Cerrar con seguro. Las llaves. No hay nadie en la casa. Me pegué. Puta madre. No. Absolutamente nadie. No hay nadie. Wow. Yo por eso no lo quería hacer.
You can see the chair slowly turning on its own.
That rolling stool slowly rotates on its axis, completely bypassing the laws of physics. A heartbeat later, the ink bottles start casually yeeting off the desk, literally shoved by a transparent hand. Paranoia fully sets in for Alberto, causing him to film the room 24/7, capturing this brutal, unassisted door slam later that week. Don't blink here.
Ay, güey. Los chuchos. Ay, Dios mío. Voy a buscar las llaves. No mames, me la jalaron. ¿Qué hago? Voy a entrar. Ay, güey. Mames. Voy a entrar. Aquí no hay nadie. Voy a poner la de esta para que vean que no hay nadie. Sí, es cierto, lo del cuadro de la monja. No me había fijado yo en este.
starts hearing random knocking sounds from inside the house.
The haunting evolves into heavy drywall banging, doors wildly swinging on their hinges, and a massive, suffocating energy soaking the studio, straight up feeling like an entity demanding to be noticed, or worse, claiming territory. A massive theory online suggests Bro accidentally conjured this demon right into his walk space.
No sé si oyen, pero la neta no hay nadie.
But the real question is this actual paranormal
The ultimate debate remains: legit evil spirits flexing, or just god-tier video editing? A female homeowner dropped this chilling saga online, living out in a dead silent neighborhood alongside her massive pack of rescued dogs. Usually, the pups are basically angels, but slowly, their energy shifted completely dark, freezing up to intensely lock eyes with blank corridors, foaming at sealed doors, and aggressively challenging invisible intruders. Fast forward to a solo night in, and heavy fists start slamming on the siding. She whipped out her cam to catch the stalker. Brace yourself.
Here. Wow. Happens all the time.
The knocking continued. Random, forceful, and
The hits keep dropping, totally erratic, violent as hell, and absolutely untraceable. The entire pack short-circuited, retreating and howling as the phantom pressure closed in.
Get it. David, come over here. Get it. You be right there. Something opens that door, you need to get him. Oh my god, I don't know if it's gonna happen again. It just happened again. Move, 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 move. There's nobody there. The dog stopped barking now. Davey's freaking out by the door though.
Barely a week passes, and the sequel drops with the exact same strikes, yanking the front door open for a confrontation. She met absolute void. Zero trespassers, zero footsteps escaping into the night. To this second, the identity of the Midnight Knocker is a total ghost.
Now this next video was recorded by a nurse who filmed this video for an
All right, jumping into the next clip, a healthcare worker shot this footage for an elderly patient staying at her nursing facility. This was originally captured back in 2019, but years later, this exact recording still gives the nurse severe insomnia. The grandma specifically requested someone to film her, wanting to document herself spiritually cleansing a specific suite where tons of patients had previously flatlined. The locals literally nicknamed it the death room. Because, insanely, anytime a senior gets assigned to those beds, they rapidly decline or pass away within mere weeks. It's a completely bizarre pattern. So, the woman decided to sage the cursed area and share the ritual on her Facebook group. Though bad, it never got uploaded because things went totally sideways. Here is the raw footage.
Heavenly Father, I ask for your divine presence to fill this space. May your light shine brightly through every room, cleansing this home of any negativity, fear, or unrest. Let peace dwell in every corner, and love be the foundation of every wall. Bless this home with your protection, surrounding it with your angels, and shielding it from harm and evil. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name. May every door be a passage to your grace, and every window open to your blessings. In Jesus' name.
It happens quickly, but the rosary gets lifted.
Blink and you'll miss it. But the rosary literally floats. Floating is actually putting it mildly. If you watch the slow-mo, an invisible force violently snatches the bead string, but the room is completely dead empty. The only logical debunking is the grandmother aggressively twitching her hand, causing the necklace to jump up, but she is sitting dead still. The employee recording this incident swore that during the filming session, an overwhelming wave of nausea hit her hard. She is 100% convinced a dark energy lives in there. She also dropped one massive red flag she always remembers. That multiple other paranormal events haunt this hallway was captured on tape by a fellow co-worker, featuring an emotional support dog during group therapy. Watch the pup.
For some reason, the therapy dog breaks away from the group to stare at.
Without any warning, the trained dog abandons the patients to fixate on that doorway, the exact same cursed suite where the death streak happened. This is insane behavior for a highly trained service animal that's supposed to stick glued to its handler, yet it completely zones out like this. And the creepiest part? The dog starts crying and whimpering if the hallway is totally empty. What invisible threat triggered this pure panic? The nursing staff immediately jumped to one conclusion: a straight-up ghost infestation, considering the grim history of the death room, the sheer volume of casualties. Nobody at the clinic was shocked by this footage, and fast forward to now. The creepy vibes persist, always centered directly around Suite 112.
It's crazy. Get the light, get the light.
You say you checked it?
Yes. Did you just get that on camera? No. Stop. No, I'm not playing with you anymore. I don't like this. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is insane right now. Right there.
Okay, you're gonna stop this right now.
The bed is completely vacant right now, but insanely, paranormal activity is still off the charts, acting exactly like an invisible patient never checked out. It makes total sense why the seniors attempted to banish the evil spirit themselves. They tried burning sage and literally pleading with the ghost to chill out, pulling out all the stops to exorcise the zone, but at the end of the day, the entity refuses to leave. The staff is still completely clueless about the haunting. I'll let you guys debate this one in the comments. What kind of dark magic is infecting room 112?
A man once visited a city for a short trip.
A tourist passing through a random town caught whined of a legendary abandoned high school, a hotspot where locals swore demonic screams echoed past midnight. Desperate for clout, he launched a solo ghost hunt. Geared up with night vision, he breached the perimeter. Prepare for extreme anxiety.
Un poquito más de tiempo, son 2:37, ¿sí? Ya casi se me acaba la batería. Estaba haciendo un reporte que necesito entregar, ¿sí? A la escuela. Pero bueno, yo tengo algunas reglas para que los alumnos puedan salir a la hora o poquito antes. Estamos hablando de 3-5 minutos. Es que tienen que acomodar las bancas, ¿sí? Todas, aunque no estén como que muy derechas, pero sí que tienen que estar las filas en orden. Estas, por ejemplo, así siempre las dejamos, y estas de esta forma, pues siempre dejamos un pasillo cuando la puerta se abre y puedan pasar de mejor manera a las siguientes filas. ¿Okay? Lo que se me hace extraño es que se movió una banca. Ahorita se las muestro más de cerca, pero es que yo estoy solo, ¿no? No hay nadie, estoy yo solo. A ver si ahí me veo un poquito en el talón, pero no hay nadie, ¿sí? Estoy completamente solo. Entonces se movió esta banca sola. Yo creo que fue el viento, porque la verdad para mí eso no existe, nada de eso de los fantasmas. Bueno, al menos yo no creo un rumor que supuestamente la escuela se fue hecha después de que un orfanato aquí se quemó, ¿sí? Al parecer los valores no se han perdido entre los alumnos, pero pues eso son puros mitos, ¿verdad? Esa banca estaba así y luego se movió, ¿sale? Entonces fue algo bastante extraño y se me hizo interesante. Yo creo que ¿saben qué? Mejor yo sí ya me voy. Sí, normalmente yo no creo en eso, pero güey, es que se acaba de mover esa banca también. ¿Qué pedo? No mames. No, ya.
Suddenly one chair started moving on its own, even after seeing.
Ignoring massive red flags, dude kept exploring deeper until finally an entire classroom of desks began violently shaking in unison, facing pure poltergeist activity. The guy mentally broke, aborting the mission and sprinting for the exit. Would you have pushed further or did? A chick named Melissa Cottrell just dropped a clip on her personal Instagram. She ain't some huge influencer hunting for clout. Her feed is purely chill family vibes and random knitting stuff. But lately, she uploaded a CCTV clip that blew up with nearly 2 million hits. Melissa says on March 3rd, right at midnight, a crazy mystery boom rocked her crib, making her pets absolutely freak out. Moments later, a creepy alert popped up on her phone. Her camera caught someone out in the yard, but checking the footage, that thing was definitely not human. Watch this. Right off the bat, it's basically impossible to figure out what's on screen. Some weird blob violently jumps between 3 different spots, straight up teleporting live. The figure looks totally warped and glitchy. But wait! Internet sleuths actually managed to slow this insane speed down, going frame by frame, freezing the video at the perfect split second. A deeply disturbing detail pops out of the blur. A literal skull shape becomes super obvious. This freakish clue totally split the web. Some people swear that loud blast and teleporting equal 100% UFO activity, or a matrix glitch. Meanwhile, others argue that creepy skull means it's a demon. What's your take? The TikToker usually just stares at the sky, hunting for UFOs. But recently, the aliens basically spawned right in their bedroom. Using a fixed nanny cam, they caught multiple clips of what they call astral entities breaching their room. We're checking out 2 separate clips of these weird figures. In clip 1, a tiny white anomaly zooms across the room insanely fast, barely on screen before it vanishes. In clip 2, things get wild. That same blob spawns again, but this time it aggressively launches right off the bed, tearing across the frame like a blur. Slowing down the first video, you clearly see it morphing shape mid-air, totally breaking physics. Putting them side by side proves they match perfectly. The glitchy motion and the crazy speed are identical. The uploader swears these are interdimensional beings bleeding into our world. This next tape proves that sometimes the scariest glitches happen during boring daily chores. Uploaded by an American TikToker with a super tiny following, bro only has 7 videos, all just chill gaming moments and basic family stuff. 0 track record of chasing ghosts, but 1 random indoor CCTV clip totally blew up lately, pulling 800k views. For a solid reason. It recorded the exact second his wife walked in with the groceries, except she clearly wasn't solo in that kitchen. Let's run the raw tape.
Sir? Okay, hold on. It's just... Whoa. Okay. All right, let's get you outside. Come on, Otis. Let's go outside, crazy boy. Let's go outside, crazy boy. Good job. Go outside.
Honestly, it's super easy to just blame gravity on this one. Watching the replay, the lady drops a heavy bag on the counter and steps out of frame. Seconds later, the bag just flops over. Skeptics immediately called it basic physics, just groceries shifting inside. But isolate the audio track right before the bag drops, and the real nightmare kicks in, slicing through the dead silence. A raspy voice clearly whispers a single word: "Hi." Did an invisible roommate just say, "What's up?" Now. This next clip drops from the TikTok page The Green Manor, following a couple who just bought a gorgeous but intimidating 263-year-old crib. The vintage aesthetic was a huge plus, but the lot featured one major red flag. Their backyard basically shares a fence with an ancient graveyard.
By the way, there's an old-ass, creepy historic cemetery that our yard backs up to. I have no idea that this is even a thing.
As early as 2025, the woman had half-jokingly predicted that they would eventually experience something supernatural. Unfortunately, her prediction came true.
Once you start doing that, weird things are gonna happen. Weird things are going to fucking happen.
After catching loud, heavy knocks bouncing down the corridors, she whipped out her phone to film the chaos. Let's see the raw clip. What makes this video so insane and straight up scary is the lighting. Unlike those pixelated dark ghost hunts, this hallway is fully illuminated. Zero chance for shadows to mess with your vision. As she tracks the banging, lock your eyes on that upstairs access door. You clearly see the heavy metal knob physically twisting on its own, rattling exactly like a real dude standing behind the frame, trying to bust in, mustering up some bravery. She finally pushes it open and heads upstairs to check it out. But the worst part is the finale. The whole second floor is dead empty. Literally nobody up there. Has some invisible squatter been chilling in this 263-year-old house way before they moved in? You tell me. This next clip comes from a TikToker named Charlie. Scrolling his feed, you won't find any ghost hunting at all. It's all just wholesome family vlogs, food reviews, and kicking it with his brothers. But the vibe took a dark turn when his older neighbor confessed her house was haunted. She swore crazy stuff happened daily, and eventually told Charlie and his buddy to come see the proof. Skeptical but wanting content, the dudes brought a camera to film the tour. What they caught, like Nuke sees, was absolutely chilling. Watch this.
Just go and have a nosy.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing in.
No.
Take some of that. Right, come out, I'm going to shut doors so you can open it.
Yeah?
Share the windows you won't. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I've slammed it shut. It's not faulty, arm has been checked.
Yeah.
But, are you ready?
Yeah.
Emma, open door, please.
Oh, she's not playing.
Give a chance. You could walk away and show the way. Emma, open the door, please. I want to see you. I want to see you. Come on. Did you hear that noise in there then?
Oh.
Thank you. No, that was just cool. That's not me. Nothing in there.
The tape starts with the old lady leading the guys into a bedroom. She makes sure the lens proves the room is 100% empty. Zero open windows, no fishing line, and nobody hiding in the closet. She taps lightly on the wood. Instantly, the handle unlatches and the door swings open by itself because Charlie and his dude were still doubting it, blaming a busted lock or a breeze. She agreed to run it back. You physically hear the metal click into the frame. She even shoves the wood to prove it's deadlocked and won't just pop open. Then she knocks again. In your flesh, the knob clicks, opening to expose the vacant room once again. Thoughts? Our next creepy find drops from the UK, posted by a TikToker named Elliot Maguire. Normally, Elliot's page is all about telling ghost stories. He digs up on the internet. He almost never claims to have personal ghost encounters. That all flipped, though, when his own bloodline hit the center of a dark mystery. Elliot's uncle died back in 2017, and that crib has been sitting empty ever since. Randomly, just out of curiosity, searched her dead uncle's pad on Google Street View. What stared back at her was absolute nightmare fuel. Sit ouchie.
Someone needs to tell me why there was a person standing in my dead uncle's bedroom window on Google Street View 3 years after he passed. Right, this is one of those ones that sounds completely fucking made up, and I swear it's not. My Uncle Paul passed away in 2017. He lived on his own, little semi-detached in Earlham, and after he went, the house sat empty for ages because there was all this probate shit going on with the family. Nobody could agree on anything, typical bollocks, and the house just sat there. So it's like 2020, right, and my cousin Paul's daughter, she's looking at the house on Google Maps because she's trying to show a fella where she grew up, and she zooms in on the Street View and she screenshots it and sends it to the family group chat, and she just goes, what the fuck is that? And in the upstairs bedroom you can see what looks like a person standing there behind the net curtain, just a dark shape, but it's clearly a person's outline. Head, shoulders, you can even sort of make out they're looking down towards the street.
This is what Elliot means. Zooming in on the vacant house, a creepy detail pops up. Focus on that first floor window, right behind the glass. A clear human figure is just staring at the road. But here's where things get super dark. That Google Street View snapshot is stamped 2019.
You can check the date on Street View, right? The Google car thing went past in 2019, 2 years after Uncle Paul had gone.
Literally 2 years after the uncle passed. Crank up the image quality, and you can't deny somebody is standing right there. Seeing this glitch, Elliot's cousin immediately drove over to check it out, but when she pulled up to the crib, the net curtains inside that room hid absolutely nothing that could form that silhouette. No coat rack, nothing. The house was dead-bolted tight, totally empty, and the drapes in that exact window were shut. What's even crazier?
The cousin insists that the shadowy figure captured by the Google car looks exactly like their late uncle.
But my cousin says the shape looked like her dad. She said it looked like the way he used to stand at the window watching for a car when she comes to visit. And I haven't got an answer for that one. I haven't got a rational fucking comeback at all.
Was this just some random squatter who busted in to roam the empty hallways? Or did the Google car actually photograph a ghost, eternally trapped in its old house? Leno! Over in Belfast, Northern Ireland, some wild CCTV footage recently leaked. It got posted straight to TikTok by the official Crumlin Road jail page. This massive stone structure used to be a lockup before shutting down for good in 1996. Now, it runs as a museum, running history tours and late-night ghost hunts. The jail's past is insanely brutal, making it a massive hotspot for demonic activity. But what the security cameras caught inside their fully lit gift shop after closing time makes zero sense. Let's roll the raw tape. Checking the security logs, the dead silence of the store is violently interrupted despite the merch being stacked perfectly. One book gets aggressively shoved out, crashing to the floor. But it keeps going. Exactly 5 books get violently yeeted off the shelf, one by an invisible hand. That number 5 is actually super grim here. Locals and ghost hunters say poltergeists in this jail always attack in 5s. A creepy callback to 5 specific inmates who got publicly hung inside those walls. But the employees cleaning up the drop noticed the most messed up detail. Checking the stuff the ghost just threw, they realized every single item was a book called Hanged at the Crumlin Road Jail. Was this just a crazy weird draft inside an ancient building? You tell me. This Mexican TikToker named Omaroso has actually been on Haunted Frequency before. Bro had a totally average life until everything flipped when his crib became ground zero for brutal, aggressive, demonic attacks. If you recall our last breakdown, he filmed some creepy lady just standing in his yard. At midnight, Omaroso swears she cast a heavy black magic hex on his family. Just yesterday, April 5th, 2026, he dropped a fresh update, proving the nightmare is still active. Hearing weird sounds from the living room, he grabbed his phone to film.
Estoy viendo la televisión. Sí, es un poco tarde, pero se escucha bastante ruido allá. Y el detalle es que mi esposa está en la planta alta con los niños durmiendo. Miren el sillón cómo se está moviendo. Ya son la 1 de la madrugada, amigos. Ya la verdad me estoy poniendo bastante nervioso. Se estaba moviendo clarito, se estaba moviendo, entré y se dejó de mover, vean. Oigan los golpes. Ya empezaron los golpes. Esto sí está muy cañón. La verdad sí me pone bastante de nervios esto. Como si alguien anduviera en la cocina, amigos. Pero la verdad, no sé. No sé si acercarme o no, amigos, la verdad. ¿Quién anda ahí? No mames, güey. Miren. A la virgen, güey. A la virgen. ¿Qué fue eso? A la madre. No mames. No digas mamadas. No mami, gente. Se me eriza la piel, cabrones. No mames. ¿Qué chingas a toda tu madre, güey?
Breaking this clip down, the sheer amount of chaos is just insane. The dark room starts off dead silent and creepy. Trying to fix the vibe, Amoroso hits the living room switch. The lights expose a wooden rocking chair, rocking aggressively by itself, with literally nobody sitting there. While he films the ghost chair, violent banging explodes at the front door. Holding his nerve, he walks into the hall to check it, but that chair instantly starts rocking again. Spooked, Bro just freezes, then a super creepy laugh echoes right behind him, now totally panicking. A noise at the front window grabs his focus. He aims the lens through the glass, catching a pitch-black shadow person standing in the yard, dead staring into his house, horrified. Amoroso bolts for the stairs. But while he's sprinting, that exact demonic laugh breathes right on his neck, right before the footage cuts black. What's the verdict?
A security guard was working the night shift in a hospital when
A graveyard shift watchman at a local medical center ran into an extremely cursed scenario, randomly. Heavy banging echoed out of the main operating theater, knowing the wing was heavily locked down. Bro pulled out his phone to document the breach. Check. Ouchie.
Acaban de ver eso. Se acaba de caer un gordo. Se está moviendo este. No veo nada. No hay nadie por acá. No hay nadie por acá. A la una. Miren, se movió esto. Recuerda que venía caminando por acá. No veo nadie. Miren, miren, miren cómo se mueve eso. Para que vean que no hay nadie aquí.
Creeping into the sterile zone, the setup looked perfectly standard initially. Boom. A piece of medical gear aggressively yeeted itself off the table. 0 doctors in sight. 0 logical gravity fails. Seconds later, the matrix completely shatters. That heavy supply closet starts aggressively vibrating, literally dragging itself across the tiles unassisted. Bro's fight or flight was completely broken. Just processing pure nightmare fuel, legit demonic attack or an elaborate shift prank.
On September 8th of 2025, a strange video was posted
Back on September 8th, 2025, a crazy clip dropped online from a girl whose mom actually operates a daycare right out of her house while her mom was babysitting a group of toddlers. One little guy absolutely panics, terrifying everyone else. The camera caught the whole meltdown on tape, but the main reason she uploaded this footage goes way beyond just a random kid crying. Ouchie. The lens captured something deeply disturbing in the background, leaving her totally speechless and spooked. Check out exactly what the camera saw.
What happened? Were you in there? Were you in there? No. He knocked us over. Who knocked us over? Maybe it was just air. Yeah, what was it done? Good. Well, I could have
Somehow, the playhouse in the corner falls on its own, even though none of the—
Out of nowhere, the toy house just topples over without a single kid laying a finger on it. Even weirder, it drops right after the boy sprints out of the doorway, completely terrified by whatever he saw inside there. Neither the mom nor the viewers had any clue what actually scared the living daylights out of him. But shortly after the clip went viral, eagle-eyed viewers spotted a hidden detail that perfectly explains his massive panic attack. Honestly, this discovery left the daycare owner absolutely shaking. Keep your eyes peeled.
What happened?
It wasn't until looking closely at the footage that the daycare owner noticed.
Zooming in on the actual footage reveals something crazy. You can literally see two hands gripping the doorframe. The shadow quickly pulls back into the darkness, right before the kid unleashes a massive scream in response. After the comment section blew up over this, the original uploader, the owner's daughter, dropped a follow-up video to explain the insane situation.
My mom was watching, so pretty much the house, and obviously it's pretty hefty, so it really doesn't make any sense that it would just fall on its own like that. And this is the room. The crazy thing about this is that there was like markings at the top of the entranceway of like the doorway, and I guess in the video you can see hands gripping onto the doorway. I don't really know what to make of that. I thought at first that it was like bugs or something like that, but it looked almost like two hands like gripping on the top, like leading into this room, just like. But the main thing, and the reason that the little boy was screaming, is actually in here. We have this covered up for a reason. Apparently, the little boy told my mom that he saw a face in these mirrors. We already found someone who's going to take it off our hands and pick it up off Facebook Marketplace.
As if things couldn't get any more creepy, we now know why the little boy—
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, we finally figured out what triggered the kid. He definitely spotted something inside that vanity mirror. Bro literally claimed he saw a face staring back. Because of that, they threw a bedsheet over the glass, just to keep the kiddos from getting traumatized. Nobody knows what kind of entity is lurking there. They basically banned all the children from that room, locking it down completely until the dude who bought this off Facebook Marketplace finally picks it up. But later that night, while checking the security feed, the daughter of the daycare boss noticed the baby gate just randomly swinging open by itself.
That's fucking creepy. Do it again. Yeah, okay. Do it again. I'll wait. Do it again. Open the gate.
Suddenly, something pokes out from underneath the fabric. It moves. Exactly when she dares the ghost to touch the gate. The gate stays perfectly still, but the mirror cover reacts instead. And that's not even the wildest part. That completely tripped out the daughter. Check out the center of that white bedsheet. When she walks up close to film the vanity, you can clearly see two distinct indentations forming, looking exactly like invisible fingers pushing outward. Here's the terrifying truth. There is absolutely nothing behind that fabric, just solid flat glass from the mirror itself. Zero moving parts or mechanics attached to it. Yet something clearly manipulates the cloth right here. She instantly sprints away in pure panic mode, knowing that cursed furniture just became active. She hasn't got a clue what entity is trapped there. But frankly, she refuses to investigate or ever step foot back inside. That door is completely deadbolted now, keeping all the kiddos safe from whatever is lurking. They are sealing that entire section off indefinitely, forcing the toddlers to play anywhere else until the Facebook Marketplace buyer finally collects it. That room stays locked down tight. We don't have many more updates on this saga, but honestly, even without extra details, the footage alone is absolute nightmare fuel, which is basically the standard for these paranormal clips until they drop part 3. This whole event is an unsolved mystery.
At around 3 p.m. on a quiet Saturday, Bonita Adonis was
mid-afternoon on a super chill Saturday. Bonita Adonis was solo in her kitchen binging TV. Her hubby was due back from a Walmart run any minute now. She mentioned getting the crib entirely to herself is super rare, especially with extended family crashing there for the season. But everyone was out running errands, leaving Bonita in total isolation, or so she mistakenly thought, because the indoor CCTV mounted by the fridge recorded this absolute madness. Without that creepy shadow darting past the frame, Bonita would have totally dismissed the whole event as just a busted kitchen appliance glitching out, but watching the heavy stove violently vibrate before literally levitating and slamming back down right as the ghost figure vanishes proves this isn't some random mechanical failure. Let's be real, ovens don't just jump. This insane footage fully convinced the entire family that a poltergeist invaded their kitchen, and honestly, they actually think it's a friendly ghost. Like I said before, the extended family is camping out here. Right now, they all flew into town to attend the funeral of Bonita's late grandmother. She had peacefully crossed over right in this house. So the family strongly believes Granny's spirit is pulling some pranks. Regardless of their theory, I'm throwing this to the comment section. How do we explain the levitating stove? Is this a legit haunting caught on camera? Or Is there a completely rational physics explanation? Drop your best theories below.
Now, this next video was posted by a mother who writes that on August 3rd.
Up next, a terrified mom uploaded this footage claiming back in late summer 2025, her kid was chilling solo on the first floor when bam, the indoor Ring camera bagged a clip that triggered massive panic mode for the family. Jacqueline and her daughter had basically just unpacked, having bought the property 6 weeks prior. But after witnessing this brutal paranormal assault, they are heavily debating breaking the lease. Mom was upstairs washing up, leaving the girl completely unguarded in the kitchen. Watch this.
She lures Victor into a trap, letting him gain his confidence, win a few hands just to see what his tendencies are. But then she goes for the throat.
Within 4 hours, Sally has cleaned Victor out, winning the entire $100,000.
Frequently in a poker game like this, because the stakes are so high, emotions are so high, often these disputes are carried away from the poker table. You would become so angry that you would act out violently.
Instead of just
gripping her forearm, the kid bolts straight up the stairs, crying that an invisible entity just grabbed her. That sentence literally paralyzed Jacqueline. It's the absolute worst-case scenario for any parent. Unbrilliant. A bright red physical scratch literally proves her story. Jacqueline swears she snapped this evidence pic moments after the girl ran into the bathroom, prompting her to immediately pull up the Ring camera logs, spotting 0 intruders on the feed. She was completely baffled by the situation until she noticed the couch bag twitching and a random object violently yeeting itself at her kid, sealing the deal that a demon lives in their living room. Ghost or not, the spontaneous crying and mysterious welt are highly disturbing. But per usual, you guys play detective in the comments. Drop your verdict down below.
A young graphic designer had recently started his own clothing.
A fresh graphic designer just launched his streetwear label and leased a tiny warehouse for merch drops. While organizing the backroom, he salvaged some broken mannequins from the trash to save cash on display props. For a while, vibes were fine until severe anomalies started hitting the breaking point at 3 a.m. one shift. He pulled out his lens to document the madness. Watch the lens. Así que nada voy a ver.
No, boludo, no. No jodas, boludo. No jodas. Es el maniquí, boludo. Es el maniquí, la concha de la lora. Me chupa 3 huevos, me voy a fijar igual, boludo. Se la concha de su madre. Qué hija de puta, boludo. No te la puedo creer. Y escuché hace un ratito escuché que deslizaban esto. Como si estuvieran revisando la ropa, boludo. Alto cagazo, me hizo pedir esta mierda. La concha de la madre, boludo. No.
For a brief second, something appeared to peek from behind a corner.
In a split frame, a pale face breaches the corner and instantly deletes itself. Swallowing his panic, he pushes into the room. Cue the ultimate jump scare. One of those trashed plastic dummies visibly twitches, literally rotating its head to lock eyes with him. Horrified, he instantly dips. Returning next morning, he rigs up a trap cam. Look hard.
Bueno, esto parece que se rompió. No sé quién habrá sido. Y toda la ropa en el piso. Esto es una locura. Yo no puedo creer esto. Yo no puedo creer. No puedo creer esto.
Hours later, the footage showed
the playback catches that exact dummy, aggressively tweaking its posture with zero help merch, randomly starts flying off the hangers. Totally red-pilled on the supernatural, he's betting his life that those dumpster props smuggled a demonic attachment right into his studio. Absolute proof, or bad lighting, let me know below.
Now taking place inside a family's home, a mother named Courtney films.
Moving on to another terrifying home video. A mom, going by Courtney, started recording a random car seat parked on the carpet. It's for her infant. But the baby is nowhere nearby right now. Honestly, if the baby was sitting there, this next clip wouldn't be absolute nightmare fuel, because moments prior, the empty carrier aggressively rattled by itself.
Literally nothing here. My baby is sleeping. Don't have a remote. It just did its own thing.
Even the family dog was freaked out by this. They growl.
The pet dog was completely weirded out too, growling at thin air like an intruder was standing right there. But the spot is totally vacant. If a battery-powered toy was stuck inside, you could easily debunk the vibrating as a mechanical glitch, just a rattling motor. But Courtney firmly stated 0 electronics were in the bucket. Plus, the sheer kinetic force was way too aggressive for a kid's gadget. The entire rig violently shuddered completely unassisted, even though the camera missed the invisible culprit. Her sequel upload dials the paranormal vibe up to 11. According to her lore, a second poltergeist attack dropped shortly after, but unlike the wiggling chair, this stunt triggered full-blown survival mode, doing basic chores while blasting a true crime podcast unfolds.
Exactly like my vision. And immediately in my heart, like I cannot explain the feeling in my heart, like it just felt warm, and I'm like, this is it, like this is my vision. And you guys are like, wow, this sounds like such an amazing story. God is good, God is great, He is all the time, but there's more to it. And this is just, wow. Looking back, I'm like, God really, He just loves us so much. But, so I secured that wedding venue, it's great, everything's good to go. I saw the papers, I called Drew, he was like in the thick of PA school at the time, and so he could have toured with me at a test that day, and I was like, this is it, this is my vision. And so fast forward to the wedding day. Fast forward to the wedding week. The wedding, it says it's going.
Straight out of the Conjuring playbook, the pup starts, aggressively guarding a completely blank hallway. The dog inches forward on high alert, terrified of an entity we literally can't perceive. And right as she ducks out, absolute chaos. A plastic bottle levitates and yeets itself violently at Courtney's head. Obviously, she scoops the newborn and abandons the room screaming. A demon just threw hands, and she wasn't sticking around. Even though the backstory is kind of vague, the evidence is undeniable. Courtney's crib is 100% compromised by a dark force, paranormal infestation, or elaborate prank. These twin attacks definitely inflicted some heavy psychological damage on that mom, but unfortunately, like a lot of these TikTok drops, the truth is permanently locked away. You make the call. An urban explorer breached an old diner, following insane rumors about dark spirits roaming inside. Hunting for undeniable proof, he booted up the GoPro and trespassed into the shadows. The ensuing audio capture is genuinely terrifying.
¿Hay alguien aquí? Buenas noches.
Ya se cerró la plaza, joven. Buenas noches. Buenas noches, ya se cerró. ¿Hay algún niño aquí? Buenas noches.
A chilling sound echoed through the empty space.
A blood-curdling screech ripped through the vacant hall, perfectly imitating a tortured little kid. The dude's soul instantly left his body. This property was legally condemned for years. 0 squatters, 0 staff allowed. Pushing past the terror, he swept the entire layout, but uncovered 0 traces. No echoing steps, no shifting shadows, just dead air. At that exact second, survival instinct triggered, realizing he was trapped with an invisible predator. Bro aborted the ghost hunt and sprinted out the back door. Let's hear your take. A wild acoustic glitch or an actual demonic shriek?